If you're a native Yoruba speaker, please step forward. Yes, proudly take a leap forward. Because today's class has a lot more to do with you than it has to do with just random English language speakers. Yes, it has a lot to do with you. What do I mean? There's a high chance that you have been mispronouncing 7 out of the 8 words that I have on the board. And trust me, this has nothing to do with whether or not you have a good understanding of the English phonetics and phonology. It has nothing to do with that. It has nothing to do with your knowledge of the English sounds. The problem most of the time arises from the way you ascribe stress to the syllables of most of these words I have on the board. And this, in a way, is not to throw some jab at my Yoruba audience, because myself, by blood, by birth, by genetics, by everything, I am a proud native Yoruba speaker. If you know what I mean. So I'm just saying this from experience, because as an English language teacher with experience, I can tell you for a fact that the temptation is always there to naturally and culturally mispronounce these words based on how we ascribe stress to it. Most of the time, native Yoruba speakers will ascribe stress to each of these words on the last syllable, and that is wrong. You hear things like evacuate, confiscate, communicate, ejaculate, humiliate, recuperate, legitimate. Okay, I think legitimate is about the only word on this list that many Yoruba speakers will pronounce correctly. Legitimate. Why? I really can explain, but maybe because this word is frequently pronounced, so I really can explain why legitimate is just one of these words that most people, most native Yoruba speakers will pronounce correctly. And then you hear things like legislate, evacuate, and all. This is a wrong pronunciation in terms of stress. And like I said before, this has nothing to do with whether or not you've mastered English sounds, the phonetics and phonology of the English language. However, in this video, I'll be providing you with a solution to hack the right stressing of each of these words. This is the second video in our series of polysyllabic words that take the stress on the first syllable from the end of the word. And as you can see, we have a pattern of polysyllabic words with ATE, suffix, right? So when you have a polysyllabic word with the ATE suffix ending, the rule is pretty simple. Such a word will take a stress on the first syllable from the end of the word. Such a word as this, with this pattern, polysyllabic words, not two syllabic words, polysyllabic words with this pattern, with the ATE suffix ending, will take their stress or its stress on the first syllable from the end of the word. So let's have these examples. This word is evacuate, 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 do, mi, radio, do, mi, radio. You don't want to use the tune-up approach. Kindly count from the end of the word. There's the last syllable 8. 1, we have 2, and we have 3. This is the fourth syllable. From the end of the word, you count 1, 2, 3. So the stress goes on va. Evacuate. So we have something like this. Evacuate. Right, so that is how you pronounce this word correctly. Evacuate, not evacuate, not evacuate. By saying evacuate, the stress goes on the last syllable. And of course, you know that is wrong now. When you have a pattern of polysyllabic word with this structure, with the ATE, and then the stress goes on the first from the end of the word. And number 2, we have this word is not confiscate. It's not, the government is planning to confiscate its property. It's not confiscate, it is confiscate. Confiscate. This is kate, the last syllable, 1, you have 2, and you have 3. This is the first syllable from the end of the word. This is the first syllable from the end of the word. So it's confiscate, not confiscate. It's confiscate. That is that about that. Number 3, it is not communicate. I like to communicate in English, not communicate. It's communicate. Communicate. So we have call, we have meal, need, Kate, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. This is the third. So we have communicate. How do you communicate in flowery language with people who are just struggling to master the English language? Communicate. Communicate. I like to communicate with children. So not I like to communicate with you. I like to communicate. That's not about that. Number 4, we have ejaculate. Ejaculate. 1, 2, 3. So this is what in the stress, right? Number 5, humiliate. 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 1, 2, 3. Humiliate. 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 Don't me radio. Don't humiliate me. Don't humiliate me. Don't humiliate me. Not don't humiliate me. Not hate me. Humiliate. That is that about that. We come to number 6. Recuperate. 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 1, 2, 3, 4. Recuperate. 1, 2, 3. This is where the stress is. So you have capital letter O through here. When is it going to recuperate? Recuperate, not recuperate. Recuperate. That's that about that. And penultimately, we have the word legitimate as pronounced. That sounds naturally correct, and that's actually correct. Legitimate. Legitimate. The stress goes on G. Legitimate. Do, mi, re, do. Do, mi, do, mi, re, do. So this is 1, 2, 3. This is the me. Legitimate. And finally, we have legislate. Who is going to legislate on this matter? Legislate. Am I still in frame? All right. So we have legislate. Me, right, do. 1, 2, 3. Legislate. So that's basically about the rule and how polysyllabic words with this pattern are stressed. When you have polysyllabic words ending in ATE, you always remember that the stress goes on the third syllable from the end of the word. And as always, the third syllable is the syllable that comes immediately before the penultimate syllable. Thanks a lot for watching to this end. I hope you've learned something intriguing in this class. If you have, kindly subscribe to this channel. If you haven't, give this video a thumbs up and share it to as many people who may need it. See you next time. Remember to keep learning right and speaking right. Bye.